jumping on board. All right, good evening, everybody. Sorry I was 2 minutes late. I'm great in figuring out where all the buttons were. Once again, it's only my second time going live on Instagram. Welcome, everybody. I can see there are over 1,200 people joining instantly, so super nice. Here it's 7:30 Swedish time, Dutch time. It has official words, but I guess it's different times for everybody. But if there's one thing in common, I guess it's that the virus is keeping us all at bay. Still nothing's happening, unfortunately. 2 weeks though since the release of Human Nature. It was really, really nice to see all your super, super nice reactions. I know some people are still waiting for their for the mail to come with the album, but hopefully it's you'll think it's worth the wait. It was lovely to read favorite songs as well. Really nice. So it's just so weird to be at home. I should have been in China. We should have already really been rehearsing and getting the world tour started. And not today though. Really weird. Yeah, but it's I'm kind of diving into my home life. Lot of horseback riding and training with Auri, who's a young horse. She's 3, so we can basically start with this, and that's super nice. Lots of gardening. I'm growing my own vegetables, trying anyway. So yeah, that's nice. We live pretty far on the countryside, so it's pretty easy for us to keep us pretty far away from other people. We meet a little bit, but mostly outside though. Careful, you know. Yeah, let's see if there's anybody. Can you speak Swedish? Yes, I live here for 4 years, or 5 almost, but I can speak Swedish. Quarantine, let's see. Somebody told me you can actually scroll. Yes, that's good. The quarantine, all is well with us. We're healthy and well. Thank you so much for asking. We've also my parents in the Netherlands and my sister and her family. I have a huge family. Most people are doing well, apart from 2 aunts who are really battling, but they're surviving. So, but it's here in Sweden, all good. Yes. What do I like most about Sweden? There's a lot to enjoy here, actually. It's beautiful and people are very nice. I really like the language. I live, so in the countryside, the kind of silence that's here, you can't find that where I'm from. When will you be touring in the US? Well, if you give me a glass bowl and I can figure out how to read the future, I'll tell you, but probably not going to be September as scheduled. I'm just going to say that I love the new album. Well, that is nice to hear. Always really nice. Thank you. Where are my earrings from? They're Kalevala, the Finnish brand. We did a cooperation with Nightwish for the previous album, and I love their stuff. Is my family as tall as me? Yes, yeah, it runs in the family. Definitely on my dad's side, yeah. My sister is even taller than me. Do I like Swedish food? Yes, I do. If I have time, watch vocal coach reactions on Human Nature. It's satisfying, their draw jobs. I just always miss the part where they're actually vocal coaching. It's just they're listening and then they're saying, oh, wow, or oh, this or that, and there's no content. But it's great if people get positively flabbergasted. Why haven't you come to Greece? Because we're on lockdown. Tim Akkerman did a cover on Nemo last year. What were the band members' reaction? Yeah, actually they were really, really pleasantly surprised, because yeah, they love the energy of it, the way that Tim was singing it as well, and it's such a different take on such a song that was really slow and dramatic, and it just gave it that rocky energy. So that was cool. Where in Sweden I live, on the countryside. Will I ever come back to Australia? That would be lovely. I actually had 2 interviews with Australia today. For me, it was this morning. I guess for you guys, yesterday. And that was lovely. Nice reactions from people. Also started gardening. Any chance to sing something live? I haven't really gotten into thinking that's a comfortable thing to do. Mainly because we just released a really good sounding album, and me singing in front of the phone is not going to make it sound anywhere remotely cool and good compared to that. But maybe that's me thinking too technical, but I would not really feel comfortable with that at this point. The album is glorious. Thank you. I wonder how far behind I actually am. Things go so fast for over 2,000 people. So welcome everybody that's jumping on. New here. Let me read a bit more of what people are writing. I hope sincerely we've been able to meet the Italian tour in December. I do as well. I really hope that at least our European tour can happen. It looks pretty grim for all the festivals, and I don't think we will be able to go to the US in September. But our planning is basically in the hands of scientists at the moment who can predict more about what's happening than any of us, unfortunately. Even world leaders, it's the scientists that need to help. How am I dealing with my forced holiday? I really enjoy it. I just don't enjoy the reason, and that always keeps it's there in the back of your mind. But we've been fantastic weather here in Sweden, and just the amount of time I get to spend at home and with my family, that I consider as a gift. And once again, the reason is horrible, but it's fantastic to spend this time here. Do you like to make up every day or not? No, I really don't. No, I don't. I really learned to enjoy myself without makeup. I would not so easily sit in the front of the camera like this without, but on a daily basis here, it's lovely to enjoy my naked face. And I put some sun cream on because I burn really fast. Hell, things are coming down here. That's my light. That makes it look like it's day. It's not. All right, there we go. Jesus, it's really dangerous area here. I guess it's... No, it doesn't want to. Come on, Lampings, you can do it. How about this then? Yes, I look great again. Anyway, no makeup every day. I'm going to scroll a little bit because there are a lot of things coming in. Human nature is fantastic. Were there any difficulties recording during the recording process? No difficulties, but as you now heard, the album, the album itself is very challenging to sing. There are a lot of really tricky parts that I really had to practice for quite a bit, but there were no moments where it was like, oh, it isn't working. However, the last part of Shoemaker, the operatic part, was really hard to get right. I could sing it and it sounded good, but it wasn't like, yes, this is it. And we struggled with that to get there. And we had to be satisfied with whatever we got done that day. And after we finished recording all my vocals, Thomas and I went through everything. And that was the only part that still didn't feel like, yes, that's it. So we recorded it again and felt better about it. However, when the choirs were recorded, the part still didn't have the wow effect that it could have. And I wanted to re-record that. I did that at home eventually, and it was funny to feel how all the puzzle pieces had now come together. It all of a sudden came out boom like that, where it was so tricky before in the studio to get it right. It just missed, maybe it was the choirs, to get the real flow going, mostly dynamic flow, and boom, there it was. And it also became one of my favorite parts on the album. I'm extremely proud of how that came out. So that was the story there. Let's see. What hobbies do I have? I like horses. Ever since I was a kid, I was a real pony girl. Even though I was always too long for ponies, so it was horses from the get-go. And I have 2 horses here at home, so I'm pretty occupied with that. I consider that my hobby. Gardening as well. I'm growing veggies and some flowers and some herbs like coriander and parsley and basil. And it's interesting to see what you can plant directly, what you can't, and when and what. And so like a real plant mom, I'm going back and forth with water and all of that. It's really enjoyable. And it gives me time to make our garden a bit more in a garden. It's lovely to just pull out weeds or decide what's weed and what's not, because that's still a human thing that we decided what we think is nice, where it should grow and where it shouldn't. Nature doesn't give a shit, it just grows wherever. Or the thing you want to grow doesn't grow. That's just a real human thing, a human interpretation of wildlife. And I'm Dutch, so I'm used to Dutch gardens, and they're very organized. It's not so wild. Here, we're literally at the edge of a forest, and it grows a little bit different than what I'm used to. So I'm still learning. I'm in a learning process, which is a good hobby. And in the evenings, when I'm tired, physically tired, I sit down and watch something. At the moment, we're watching a Spanish series from Netflix called Casa de Papel, and I probably pronounced it like shit. That's enjoyable. It's lovely to hear the Spanish. It goes so incredibly fast. And there's a good challenge, a language challenge for me as a Dutchie, to read the Swedish subtitles, because I don't understand Spanish, especially not in that tempo. So I'm multi-languaging. Is that a word? But I'm doing it. Yeah. So lots of time for hobbies nowadays. All right. Scroll. Oh. Can you settle a Discord debate, pineapple or pizza or not? Yeah. You mean pineapple on a pizza? No. But my daughter loves it. It's her favorite, but oh god, oof. Not for me. I like pineapple and I like pizza, just not together. I said Casa de Papel, quite good. Okay, thank heavens. Yes. Flora, sing for us. Yeah, come on, guys. Like I just said, I feel really uncomfortable with it somehow. If this was a concert, I would have obviously not be, but after releasing such a great sounding album, she said so objectively, I'm really proud of how it sounds. I find it really hard to just sit here and sing. But I know that more and more artists are doing it, and some sound amazing and some sound really crap. So I guess maybe I need to learn how to get it right then. What dog breed is Alma? Weimaraner. No, she's an English pointer. And sad news, though, we decided she would live a happier life if she would live with a family that can hunt with her, because Alma is a hunting dog. And that goes for everybody that starts with animals. You have a plan and you think you can do things. And we did the same when we took Alma in. She was living with a family who loved her dearly, but also had a hard time taking care of all her needs. And we gave it a good shot. And we came pretty far, but the hunting part is something that we can't really do with her, and train her, and her hunting instincts were so strong on a daily basis that we felt like, in combination with everything else that we have going on in our lives, it's not fair for her. And so we recently, just this week, found a fantastic new home for her, with people who know the breed, yeah, so we don't have a dog anymore, which is super, super, super sad, but better for her. And that's, in the end, most important. Should we make copies of your beauty to get married? It's a great idea. Let's never do that. I had to read it. It was so funny. How do I decide my stage outfits? I actually, ahead of everything, I start to think about what I would want to wear, what fits to the album. Like with the previous album, I had this multicolored outfit because it was Endless Form's most beautiful in nature. It's colorful. I'd been wearing black and black and black and leather so much that I felt like I can vary with this concept and play with this. And for this album, I was drawn more towards Victorian style, maybe also because we already knew we were going to do a photo session in the London History Museum. That kind of inspired me to start thinking in colors and in styles, and from there comes ideas. And then I need somebody who knows how to visualize these kind of ideas and who's creative with that. As I managed to find a fantastic woman based in Austria. And I can post, well, I always post about her. I'm just horrible with remembering names. Her name's Barbara. She's amazing, and her her brand I can't remember right now. But check her out though. I'll post about it because she makes fantastic outfits, and these outfits that are now laying in my closet ready to get out on tour are also made by her, and those I wear on the photo shoots as well. Yeah, so let's see. Somebody's asking how Marco is doing. He's great. He's doing very well. Do I like baking? Actually, I never really liked baking, but now I'm at home and I have a 3-year-old. Baking is a good way to pass the time. Yeah, I do the baking, and my daughter spends time tasting everything, tasting the thing that comes together. And funny enough, the final result doesn't really interest her that much. But you know the image of kids when they bake with stuff all over their face, and the kitchen is a ruin. Well, that is reality here on a weekly basis now. I would say we've been trying different kinds of things, and it's really enjoyable actually. Yeah. Let's see. What song am I looking forward to perform live? Everything on Human Nature, and everything else on the set list. At this moment, I'm longing so much to get back on stage. But yeah, I can imagine that Tribal, for instance, is going to be fun. And I heard today that a lot of people that have been watching the video of Tribal, the lyric video, really enjoyed the dancing of the skeleton. So I would love to see dancing people in our audience on that song, and maybe I can do some dancing myself. Who knows? You know how crappy I am with that. So I've mentioned in an interview recently that most in our band don't eat meat. Indeed, Thomas is vegetarian, Troy is vegan, Jukka is vegan, and I'm vegetarian apart from meat that comes straight out of the woods here. because the animals that were hunted had a great wild-free life, hormone-free, in vaccine-free, and a very fast death, which is done in a way that hunt here is organized really well. So it's make sure that species are in balance with each other and with their biotope. And so it's a well calculated hunt, which still I don't enjoy killing. And that part is horrible, but I do consider that part of life, as long as life is well balanced within the area that you live in. And so that's how I think about it. Let's see. Least favorite food besides pineapple and pizza. Yeah, it's probably anything from fast food chains. Yeah, ew. I don't understand how it got so popular worldwide, but to me it tastes really bad. And if it doesn't really taste that bad, your body feels really bad afterwards. And then 2 hours later, you're hungry again. So no junk food for me. I'm not a fan. Somebody asked if I'm a Sabaton fan. There's a little bit of Sabaton here right behind me. And yes, I am. I highly respect my husband's band, and yeah. Oh, here's somebody asking about the second kitty. If it came home. No. So we used to have 2 horses, 2 cats, and a dog. And now we have 2 horses and 1 cat. So I, now that Alma has found a new home, I would like to find a new friend for my cat, because he's pretty lonely. I think he's not even a year old, and I know cats are different than dogs, and I'm pretty new as a cat mom. But he's happy home though. He's all healthy. But it would be wonderful to find him a buddy where he can play and hunt with here. Yeah, and for me too, actually. Yeah. Yeah, my girl is 3 already. Indeed she is. And she's tall. I guess you would expect that, but yeah. It's funny with kids and clothing. There are actually brands that mark the size of the clothes for, this is for kids for 2 to 3 years old. So now I'm buying clothes for kids who are 4 to 5 years old, because somebody decided that a certain size fits to a certain body shape, but she's not unusually tall, she's just tall. But it's really funny to see the difference in sizes. Also, well, she doesn't go to daycare because of the virus, but also there she's a tall lady. Let's see. Nice messages. Favorite place in Germany? Oh, I really like Berlin, but I also like the Black Forest. There's beautiful nature in Germany everywhere. What breed are the ponies? I don't have ponies. I actually have horses. I have Clydesdale. That's a big horse. For those who don't know, maybe know the Budweiser commercial with these huge horses that draw. Yeah. She's from the same breed. She's even from Scotland. And then the other horse is an Haflinger from Austria. It's an Austrian race, but of breed, but she's also from Austria. So if you think about it, the only one living here that's 100% from Sweden is my husband, and the cat. The rest is all imported, and my daughter is half. All right. I would like to hear only a soprano voice in your favorite piece. Okay, I don't understand that, but I guess you enjoy operatic voices. Very nice greetings from Argentina. What's one new thing that you want to do or see before I die? Oh, that's a good question. I would like to get old, actually. But that's something that you gradually do. I always wanted to see the rainforest, really be there. That's something that I wanted since I was a child, and I've been close to them now a couple of times, but I never actually went into it. And I would like to go on a real exploration trip, without, of course, destroying the area where I'm in. Yeah. Somebody's asking what happened to Northward. Northward was just a one-off project, because the music was written over 10 years ago, 10 years before the release of it. So it was never an ambition to actually continue with, also because of the time that Nightwish is demanding. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm really happy with what we wrote, but there is no need for a sequel. But if it would ever come, that desire to actually write that kind of music, I would totally go for it. However, recent events in the Netherlands made that that more and more people have been starting to ask about a solo record, because of the TV program I was with. That made me think about it more, like, would I actually want to do that? When would I want to do it? In what style would I want to do it? And well, since I'm at home more, I do have more time to write. That doesn't mean that I all of a sudden become super creative and I know exactly what I want. But it's lovely to have time to think about that and to see what comes out. And I cannot imagine it would be rock or metal. Just because, well, rock now I've done, and metal I've done a lot, and I'm already in one of the best bands I think that are out there, in my opinion, to my taste. Plus, if you're in a band with a songwriter such as the one with Holopainen, it's a little bit hard to come up with anything better, I would say, and I only say that out of love and respect for him. Plus, after 20 years of metal, wouldn't it be lovely to do something completely different for me? That's how I feel. So let's see what comes out of this time. I like to keep my freedom in the time frame and in the planning of style and moods, and yeah. But every now and then I sit behind my piano and all of a sudden things come out. So let's see what comes out of this. Am I coming to Sweden Rock 21? I hope so. I mean, we were headlining this year, but let's see what happens with all the festivals this year, first and foremost. If it's just copy-paste everything from this year to next year, I don't know if that's even possible. Festivals, of course, come with a lot of bands, and they all have their schedules, but we all of a sudden all have the same problem that we don't know. So let's see. I hope so, because that would have been our very first festival, actually, Sweden Rock, this year. What is my biggest dream? My biggest dream, it was actually to keep the good things that are there in my life right now, to keep them. The things not change again. Like, things have been changing in my life quite a bit throughout the last years and years, and I'm really content in where I am, and I hope that I can continue living this happy life in good health with the people I love in good health. If I ever played an After Forever Revamp song while jamming or checking sound or campfire stuff with Nightwish. No, we never did that. It's a nice idea, though. I would love to hear how that would sound. Somebody's asking if my daughter speaks Dutch and Swedish. She understands both languages, and she tends now to mix Dutch in Swedish language. So she's mainly speaking Swedish, but then there's a Dutch word here and there. Or it's a Dutch word that she uses the Swedish grammar for, which is also interesting. But she'll soon enough learn the difference, but she understands both. How many horses I have? I have two horses. If I like Marco's new album, oh yeah, I do. Clydesdale indeed. How I met my husband. We met on tour with Sabaton and Revamp. Yep. Does my daughter like singing too? She sings all the time, actually. Yeah. Yeah, she's humming a lot when she's on her own, playing a bit, and there's always a song. And funny enough, when I start to sing, she's like, "No, Mom." Or when I want to sing along with her Kittie songs, then she doesn't want me to do that. She's probably the only person in the world that does not want me to sing. Great. Somebody's asking who the other singer is on the album. There is not a female singer on the album. There are people talking, and then there's me singing, and then there's Troy, and there's Marco singing. No other female singer on the Nightwish album, apart from the choir. Somebody's thanking me for being available. I thank you too. It's nice to chat and nice to have at least this possibility to hang out a bit. Yeah. All right. Nice collection of flags of different countries. There's a little bit of Canada. There's a lot of Brazil. Favorite hot and cold drink. I guess hot is tough. I like both tea and coffee, but if I have to choose, it's probably coffee. And cold, I really like beer, but I also like milk. It's maybe nice to say that I also like non-alcoholic drinks, but if I really have to choose, it's probably a nice cold beer, especially on warm days like we have right now. Or warm, it was 15 degrees and I thought it was really nice. If I've ever been to Morocco, I haven't. Unfortunately. How many more years of Nightwish albums do you hope we will get? Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we are immortal, so endless more. Why does Nightwish never perform 2 for Tragedy? The song is perfect for this. Yeah, the thing is that we have so many songs that it's impossible to always play everything, and then there are always songs that don't end up on the sets, even not on Decades, where we really went into the history. Let's see if we ever thought of going to Turkey. I'm not sure, actually. It would be lovely. I've been there on holiday twice. It was super nice. One time was in Istanbul. It was very beautiful, though it was not so nice to be chased by men all the time. Everybody thought we played basketball. I was there with my sister. People just took pictures with us. They had no idea that I was a singer. It's a long time ago. But we were so ridiculously tall that we became an event, apparently. Great. What songs from After Forever would you like to rock again? Well, I actually, in the Netherlands recently, did quite a few of the After Forever songs. And that was really, really enjoyable to do. Still, the 10th show is not done yet. It's still in the planning. I got a few updates because the date that we had in mind to do the show once again became insecure. And since we already announced a replacement show that couldn't happen, we'd rather be a little bit more sure before we get everybody's hopes up. But that was lovely to play After Forever stuff and go back in time a little bit. Will you guys be performing in September in Toronto? I think it's highly unlikely, unfortunately, especially since the developments in USA at the moment are what they are, which is horrible to see. I'm really sorry for everybody living there. Yeah, so I hope that I hope it can happen, but very likely that it's not. There's somebody coming in. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Do you want to say hi? There are 2,129 people. Oi, now it became less all of a sudden. Maybe now when you come in.
To the world of the YouTubes.
No, it's not the YouTubes, babes.
It looks like the YouTubes.
It
must be the YouTubes.
It's the YouTubes. I guess eventually it ends up on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have exactly 3 minutes to ask me a question. if you don't want to ask me the question, you don't have to.
No.
But I'll stay for 3 minutes exactly. Starting now.
What's the kind of music you cannot stand?
Everything except heavy metal, you dumbass. No. We like a lot of music. Absolutely.
Yeah. You're very into a lot of different kinds of things.
Yeah.
French rap, maybe.
Yeah, well, I never heard it, I guess. A good song is a good song, no?
True, fair enough.
Do you think some bands won't survive this financially? I think it's very hard for many businesses, including bands, absolutely. But if we stick together and do what we can, we'll hope for the best.
True.
Do you sing for your daughter? No. Flora does that.
Yeah, and then she says, "No, Mom."
I play the snare drum for her.
Yeah, she likes that a lot. What's your favorite song?
Oy. How long do you have?
In the Book of Heavy Metal.
It's so fucking fast, this thing, huh?
Yeah.
Do you have any major fear? Yeah, that's a deep question. Major fear? No, actually, I don't. Heights, maybe? I'm not a big fan of heights.
What would you consider your biggest achievement?
Um,
I think you just put her to bed.
Yeah, put the 3-year-old to bed.
Yeah.
That's today's biggest achievement anyway.
Somebody's writing that Nightwish should do an acoustic concert. I agree.
Me
It
too.
would be super nice. How many languages do you speak? Say something in each, please.
It will take forever.
Ja, I speak so many languages. Hey, ik
That's a
kan
good question.
Nederlands praten.
The band still.
Does the band still have contact with Jukka? Absolutely, and of course. I mean, he's still part of the band, even though he doesn't tour with us. He's still using his fantastic brain to keep the machine going. Hanging out with us, still a master in drinking beer with us, and so he's definitely on board. We're just reading some things.
Relatable. My kiddo used to shout at me not to sing with her.
Yeah, yeah. They.
As you can see, we have a few snare drums up there.
Yeah.
So that's an alternative if your kid doesn't want you to sing.
Yeah, he can do that.
Use the snare drum.
And you know what? I've been practicing some vocals here, and even though the snares are off, you can put the snares tight and loosen them on a snare drum. If they're tight, they vibrate faster. But even loosened, when I go for opera singing, they vibrate along. Really great. I'm grateful for that. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Do you miss Chile? Of course.
Yeah.
Beautiful country with beautiful people.
Yeah.
Brazil sends all the love for you.
Obrigada.
Mexico, loco.
Yes.
Hey, I'm
Groetjes
gonna
uit
leave
Nederland.
you to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Good to see you all. Behave,
See you.
everybody.
Yeah. Stay healthy.
Have fun. YouTubes. Bye, YouTubes.
See you soon. Ska du jobba här? Now, as I said before, we have many projects going on. So I'm sitting in our studio here, and right next to our studio is our garage. And Hannes is insulating that. Yes, lots of fun. He volunteered. All right. If I ever heard Sepnem Fera. No? Is it a singer? It sounds interesting. Have I recorded a film about recording the album? No, we haven't really been filming so much this time. No, unfortunately. Somebody's writing, I'm biggest music inspiration. That's a big compliment, thank you. What music influenced me when I was growing up? Actually, my parents used to play classical music on Sunday, and then there was some Sting, some Beatles, Dire Straits, and I remember one day that my dad must have bought an album of Alanis Morissette and Roxette, and some more of the singing, female singers, and that really was like, oh wow, I love to sing along with that. I guess it never really inspired me to sing for real, to really find my voice yet. That came a little bit later. People hoping that I can come and play live in different countries. I can only say I wish the same, since of course, we should be touring already. And love from Colombia. What is the hardest challenging song to sing from the new album? I would say both music and Shoemaker are the trickiest. Yeah. What language would I like to learn apart from the ones I already know? Well, between knowing and knowing, I mean, I can speak Dutch, I can speak English, I can speak Swedish fluently, but I once started with Finnish, and you should finish what you started. I would really like to pick that back up when I have time. That maybe is now, but I enjoy learning languages on tour, as I started doing that years ago. It's a great way to pass time and still learn something. So I can imagine when we start touring, I would start picking that back up. And since my head's so full with everything still, also it takes a while to really get fluent into a language where you don't have to really think about what you say. So for me, learning a whole new language and that I have to use on a daily basis made that I'm not very inspired to learn a new language as of yet, entirely new. Because Finnish I did for a year and a half, and it's so complex that real speaking doesn't really happen, but I can understand a bit and read a bit, so from there I could go further. Yeah. All right. Do you boogie at discos? No, I'm way too Dutch and stiff for that kind of stuff. Hannes looks like Jax from the Sons of Energy. Yeah, he does a bit with the beard. Yeah, he's a hottie. Oh, now the questions actually run in for Hannes, but he already went into the garage with his little project, or a little big project actually. Do I have a favorite festival to play? Oh, well, there's a festival where I've been going to for so many years, and that's Grass Pop, and that also became one of my favorite festivals. Anyone I would like to collaborate with? I could really imagine singing something with Lizzie Hale, and yeah, I love her voice, so maybe that. Yeah. Hälsningar från Finland. Hej på dig. Did I enjoy playing with Apocalyptica on tour? Oh yeah, that's for Hannes, of course, but I know that he did, and yeah, they both musically as personally really got along well, so yeah, they had a good time. Somebody's asking to adopt you. Sorry, can't do. What language do we speak with each other? Here at home is Swedish, and when I get angry, it's Dutch. Is the couple in the lyric video for How's the Heart You? No. Do I play the drums? No. I can obviously hit them, but no, I don't know how they do it, those drummers. I think it's an amazing thing how they can move 4 parts of their body independently, and sometimes at a speed. It's great respect for that. I can't do that. If my house was on fire, And the only one item you could save, which would it be? I always thought it would be, you know, photo albums, but I think that's becoming an outdated concept since you don't really, you keep your photos mostly digital now. But I do have a few photo albums of my own early childhood and of Hannes's that would be very nice to save, because those are irreplaceable. Now, how do I feel about only performing music written for you to sing rather than writing it myself? I had to get used to that within Nightwish, obviously, but when somebody can write as good as Thomas, and then it still feels like it's something that's written for you. It's so such a fit that that I really enjoyed that, and it still leaves a very big window to put in personal creativity to make it sound like me, and give my sound to the songs. People saying some nice things about favorite songs. Would I like to sing some hard songs? Yeah, I would definitely. And I have been doing that. Yeah, that's great stuff. Good vocal challenge too. Greetings from Greece and from Honduras and Bavaria. Somebody liking the new album there in Germany. Thank you. Alle, dankeschön. Somebody from Iran and Poland. Somebody's wondering if Hannes rides horses. No, but he did actually. Somebody asked, "Do I like kustjakken?" Yes, I do. And Hannes does not ride horses. No, he rides a motorcycle. Makes way more noise than my horses do, but a little bit less work afterwards. And on a daily, day-to-day basis. Hello from England as well. Hey do, Hannes. Yeah, Hannes, he went working. Yeah, he went really fast. He had 3-minute window before he went back out. And from France, if we go back to Hellfest, I don't know. Love declarations, that's always wonderful. And then there's Argentina. Am I excited for the new tour? Yes, it would be lovely. It could start any day now. How do my horses think of me being home all the time? Yeah, I think that they're happy. They get out a little bit more often. Yeah. Well, now you just come to India for a show. Yeah, that would be wonderful. Have you heard of Septic Flesh? Yes, I do, but I never listened to it. I think it's been years though. Yeah. Somebody greeting from California. Welcome. And Indonesia. I would love to visit. If I heard Dimash Kudaibergen. No, I haven't. And greetings from Mexico. Besides singing and piano, what instruments do I play? I play guitar. Not great, but I can play it. I used to play the flute. In that I was good once, and yeah, that's basically it. I can hold a bass guitar and get some things out, but I wouldn't call it playing. If I ever watched Xena, the Warrior Princess, yes, I did. I think she's kick-ass. Is it true that I had a Vader shirt on for my first show ever? Yeah, I did. Yeah. It was even a little bit too short and too small, but I loved it anyway. I bought it at a show. Do I listen to Within Temptation? No, I actually don't. I really respect them, but it's not my kind of music. Somebody really liking the album. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your voice to the world. Well, thank you. Stay safe. Same to you. I'm glad I can. And it's you guys giving me a voice as well, because I can sing as much as I want here, but without somebody listening to me. Nothing is really happening. So thanks for hearing me, listening to me. Somebody's asking from the Netherlands if the Nightwish concerts will happen. I have no clue. I really don't. We need to keep listening to what the scientists are telling us right now. Everybody, we have to take this on a daily basis and check the news and update from there. That's all I can say. I love that you were a Skunky Nancy fan from the start, like I was. Have I ever seen them live? I wish I did. I really wish, but no, unfortunately. Have I ever considered cutting my hair short? No, I haven't. A recommendation for a singer, Monica Naranjo. That sounds good. I will check that out. This was my scrolling face. Så du pratar flytande svenska också. Yes, I do my best anyway. Thank you. That was Swedish for, so he speaks Swedish fluently. When will you come to Europe? In Europe, I live in Europe. I see a bit of Finnish flags here. Hello, welcome. Have I ever had the time to prepare the shoot before the crisis started? Have you had time to prepare the shoot before the crisis started? I'm not sure what that means, but the person writing it has having his 40 or her 42nd birthday, so congratulations. Hello from Hungary. Hello. And somebody's asking what impact Beste Zangers made for me. It had quite the impact, actually. So I got myself a whole new sort of side career in the Netherlands. Somebody who people want to see on TV that was never there before. In the slipstream of it all, thought it would be nice to maybe do a couple of live shows of my own. Solo shows, they sold out like nothing else, so I did more, and those sold out. And it's still a ball rolling. So it really led to an unexpected popularity there, and inspires to maybe write stuff of my own, as I told before in this hour. It would be lovely. Yeah. Would I like to learn Spanish? It's not on the bucket list, but maybe one day. Does Troy speak Finnish? No, but he's good in pretending. Have I ever been on a cruise between Finland and Sweden? Yes, we even had our own cruise with Nightwish. I joined the Sabaton cruise, and so finska är svårt. Yes, Finnish is very difficult, absolutely. Tosi vaikea. Now I can't remember. Could you sing a song from the last album, if possible? Not right now. We are getting into the last 4 minutes, actually, of this chat. Give or take. Maybe I was a few minutes late, but it was super nice to chat once again with everybody. Thank you for joining, and all the questions. I'll keep answering them to the end, of course. Have I ever Ampu sing? No, I don't think I have, actually. maybe in a state of alcohol, maybe. But then I was 2, so I don't remember. Are you and Hank Port still going to sing live in a concert? Absolutely. I mean, there's still concerts planned that are now being postponed. So, yes, that's going to happen. Absolutely. Hello from Oulu. Heippa. Hello from Argentina. Thank you for the Decades DVD. Yeah, you're welcome. How did you feel about the concert? It was awesome. So I can't wait to come back to Argentina. Will you ever sing After Forever songs again? Yeah, like I said before, I've been doing them as well as Revamp songs in my live shows in the Netherlands. And the 10th show that's still hasn't happened yet will also have will be recorded, and then I will put that online for everybody to hear. And there is the walkthrough history basically with After Forever songs and Revamp, even Northward's in, Nightwish is in, and Beste Zangers stuff. So that's gonna happen. No Wacken this year. Somebody's writing no. I guess all festivals we'll have to do without this year. But you know what? These times that we live in now are difficult, and they're horrible. Lots of people get sick. There are people dying everywhere, and that is something that we can't ignore. At the same time, when you're healthy and when you've quarantined yourself and you're safe at home, I think we should all count our blessings there and try to see the positive of the special time that we live in as well. I know that's easier said than done, and it's easier for me maybe to say that as I live in a remote area where I can actually really be outside. But yet again, my life has been heavily affected by it as well. I'm not touring. I'm not going to tour next month, and I probably will not tour that month if there either. It might just be that the whole year of me is completely gone. And I can sit here and sob about it, and I get really sad, and I have a really valid reason to do that. But it also provides me with time for things I never had time for, and I'm really trying to appreciate this as much as I can. And I just wanted to tell everybody, try and do that too. Also, when you feel miserable, I mean, it's all right to feel like that. But if you feel closed in and you feel like, oh, life is just not as it is, try to see it positively. No, it isn't as it is. So what do I usually don't do? Where do I have time for now? Can I maybe take a walk in an area where I've never been? Of course, with distance. Can I maybe read that book that I already read but loved so much? I would never read it again, but now I actually have time for it. Pick up a language, as people have been suggesting. Make long distance calls with friends that you usually don't hang out with that much that you wanted to do. I mean, there are things that can uplift, and it probably lies in all the small pleasures in life that you sometimes need to find, and it's harder to find them when you're down with the situation. That's why it's hard, but I think it's a good way to get out of a negative cycle, because that's not going to get us any better. It's not going to get us healthier. It's not going to make the virus go away either. So that's something. And I know these kinds of chats, or maybe even the singing live kind of stuff that you guys want me to do, help. And that's why I'm very happy to sit here and do that. And I really hope that listening to our new album also inspires to help. That it inspires to take a time for it, sit with it, headphones on, good audio system, close your eyes and take your time with it, because, well, most people actually now have it. So yeah, that's something that I wanted to share before we slip into the last minutes. And then I will get back to some of your questions and comments. The bracelets on your right wrists mean a lot to you? Yes, they do. Thanks for asking. Actually, they're now both silver and gold. The silver ones were my mom's, and she wore them when she was a teenager. And she had to save money for every single one that she bought. And then she had them on for many, many years. Until she took them off. And she always kept them. And I got them when I was a teen. And I've been wearing them ever since. So they've been with me for the last 20 years. And the golden ones are recently added. My grandmother, my mother's mom, passed away right before the whole virus crisis. So thankfully I actually got to go to her funeral and say goodbye to her. And she wore these golden bracelets always. And just like me, she always wrinkled. Make a sound. And when the question came, is there anything from her that you would like to have? I know instantly those bracelets. And I wore them with me. So I actually have both my mom as my grandmother with me all the time. So they're definitely something special. Does growling hurt your voice? It shouldn't. It shouldn't, but it can. Growling actually is not done with the actual vocal cords, but it's done with your false vocal cords, which are similar looking muscles right above the vocal cords that are there to protect and lubricate the vocal cords. And if they vibrate, they give off that raw sound that you know as grunting, growling. And so if you know how to master that, then you're fine. But if not, then of course you can still really hurt yourself. Wow, when I talk for a bit, so many messages come in that it's impossible to keep up with you guys. But it's so wonderful. So many people actually really joined. We're closing to the hour and closing up to say goodbye. I hope you all stay happy and healthy. I wish you good luck with those who are sick or having sick family members or friends, people you love in these extreme times. I really hope they're going to feel better soon. And I hope we all come out of this pandemic better. If we survived, that is. That sounds very, very woof, but we see positive effect too. We see people with all kinds of great initiatives to help each other. We see the oceans and the air getting clean again. I think it inspires a lot of people to maybe change their ways. Life is not going to go back as it was. It's going to be starting a new normal that maybe takes more consideration for each other and for the planet that we live on. And I really hope that happens. And I wish you for now a good weekend. Enjoy music, enjoy the life as we have it, because it's too short not to enjoy despite everything. And I thank you again for joining here today. It was really wonderful to be with so many and to read lovely reactions from you also to the album. Thanks for all the cool questions. It was lovely to there, of course, right when you start to your end speech. The phone finds it necessary to tell you that your battery is almost dead. 20% though, come on. Anyway, stay healthy, stay positive, and thank you so much for joining. Hope to see you another time.